Hey, what's up everyone? Raging Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun as always. And I apologize if you can hear my dryer running in the background, but I'm kind of a moron and I forgot to do my laundry earlier in the day, so hopefully it's not too bad. But anyway, now that Thanksgiving has rolled around, I figured this would be the perfect opportunity for me to kind of resurrect one of my very earliest videos that I did in the wee beginning of this channel. Yeah, I know this video isn't launching on Thanksgiving, it's either the day before or the day after, depending on how quickly YouTube wants to remonetize it, but close enough, cut me some slack. And I would like to start out by saying, even though this is a few years after I did the original iteration of this video, I am still truly thankful to feminism. I know I can't speak for all guys when I say this, but in my specific case, feminism, and especially third-wave feminism, has actually greatly improved the quality of my life. Now, before you rage quit my channel, take the time to hear me out. Let's take a look real quick at who really benefits from third-wave feminism and women's sexual liberation and women in the workforce. Number 1, guys like me who have no interest in relationships anymore and are perfectly fine remaining lifelong bachelors. And I guess this would be a good time to point out that I am also extremely thankful for the fact that I was born an extreme introvert. As I've even told my boss on a few occasions, if I could afford it, I would be a hermit. I can get all the social interaction I care for from the internet. And what makes it so much cooler than any sort of in-person interactions, the second it gets annoying, I can just turn off the browser and boom, it's done. Or turn off my phone if it's a text message or something of that nature. When people overstay their welcome, I can just shut them out. Something that's considerably harder to do in person. Yet it makes a huge difference for me. So anyway, this isn't just a random tangent, I brought this up for a reason this time. I'm the type of guy that doesn't need much social interaction at all, at least in person. So it's not a surprise that, by that same token, when it comes to relationships, I don't really need those either. I'm perfectly fine with my waifus, you know. This isn't something everyone can do, and obviously extremely extroverted guys and tradcons, they're really not gonna like the environment feminism has created. But for guys like me, this is a paradise. Because in the past, we would have been socially ostracized to the point where I may not have even been able to find a job. If you were in your 30s and still single back in the more traditionalist era, people would look at you as if something was wrong with you and wouldn't want to associate with you. Or at best, they'd keep trying to hook you up with women constantly. But either way, you'd pretty much be ostracized by society for not fitting the norm, for not fulfilling your gender stereotypes, so to speak. But thanks to feminism and specifically all their cries that women don't need men and they can be just fine alone, a offshoot of that is obviously men can be just fine alone too. If so many women are opting to stay single, then obviously that's going to make a whole bunch of men single by default. So it has to become socially acceptable for both sides. And yes, I know it's still not perfect, we still get made fun of, we still do get ostracized in some circles, but all that is stuff that I can easily tolerate and or avoid. If I was born 50, 60 years earlier, my life would probably be wrecked by now with some relationship and kids. So I'm not being sarcastic when I say, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I am thankful to feminism for my own freedom and sexual liberation. Doesn't seem to be working out as well for women, mind you, but overall, men's happiness is going up while women's is going down. And before you say anything, yeah, I know that male suicides are also going up. Well, that's to be expected. Those are all the traditionalists and extremely extroverted types. The types that take to this current environment in the same way guys like me would have taken to the previous one. And now we get to the funny part. The second type of guy that benefits the most from the current environment that feminism has created. That would be the pickup artist. And by that I pretty much mean any guys that just use women for sex and just pump and dump them. If anything, I'd say these guys benefit the most. And I find it truly hilarious and the ultimate irony that feminism has actually created a paradise for the very same type of guy that they hate the most. Women's sexual liberation means that these guys who are only interested in women for sex have extremely easy access to sex with a lot of these sexy women. And while they're young anyway, these women think they're benefiting from this as well. But eventually they get older and hit the wall and lose their looks and end up like Sinead O'Connor. Meanwhile, those pickup artists who probably still view women as just sex objects even in their old age are still able to bag younger women. Again, all thanks to third wave feminism. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not particularly happy that other people have to suffer just so I can be happy myself. I do feel sorry for a lot of these men and women that fall hook, line, and sinker for this crap and suffer for it. I would much prefer if everyone just agreed to leave everyone else alone and stop being such busybodies and just get along. But we know that's never gonna happen. I'm willing to get along with anyone who's willing to get along with me, but not that many other people are willing to return me that same favor, I noticed. In general, both the far left and the far right find me way too problematic to deal with. So in the end, that fact makes it so much easier for me to just kind of shrug my shoulders and say, oh well. Ultimately, I'm the one that's benefiting from the current status quo, as well as other men going their own way or otherwise extremely introverted men, a few self-sufficient and introverted women as well, and funny enough, our polar opposites, the pickup artists. All you guys on the far left and the far right, you could talk smack about us all you want, but in the end, we know you're just jealous. Jealous that we'll never keep you company in your misery. That's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for listening.